Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, super. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm always good on Tuesdays because we call and talk to your daddy with Tuesdays with Charlie.
Yes, we do.
That's coming up here in just a short while. And a couple things about cell phones. Did you know that the French have invented a cell phone that works underwater?
No.
Now, typically, we would make fun of the French here, but right now we're not doing that because we're still feeling bad for the French.
I haven't made fun of the French since that
nor
date
have I,
because
but I know
they have stepped up to the
have.
plate. Holy cow.
And I can tell
Go
you,
France.
I remember a thing that was a joke that was online that our son had shared. It said, "For sale French military rifle, only dropped once, never fired," something like that, because they always gave up. You know what? You can't use that joke anymore.
Yep.
Because it just doesn't work.
They are fighting back,
So,
and good for
super
them,
proud
and
of them.
better than what we do. So I am
the
super
French
proud.
have invented a cell phone that works underwater, and I don't know if they'll get this, but there's a new thing called text neck. It's a technical term for an injury in your neck caused by hunching over looking at your cell phone. So if you look at your cell phone a lot and you get a sore neck, there's a name for it, text neck. There you go. Now you know.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Today is Tuesday, November the 24th. Today is Celebrate Your Unique Talent Day. Do you have any unique talents? Think about those for a moment. We'll come back to it. Oh, you do too. You've got some unique talents. It is also D.B. Cooper Day. Do you know who D.B. Cooper is?
I do.
I remember watching on Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah,
He jumped
D.B.
out of an
Cooper.
airplane with a bunch of cash he stole.
It is Brownie Locks Day today. So I'm not sure what Brownie Locks are. Sounds delicious, whatever it is.
I know who Goldilocks is. I know who Brownie Locks is.
I don't know. But Brownie Locks Day today. Now, your unique talent, Heidi. What is your unique talent?
I don't think I have any.
You do, too. You can draw a whale and a clown.
I can draw a whale and a clown.
That is very unique.
In seconds.
Yes.
I'm very fast at
She's
drawing
quick.
whales.
I mean, you don't even think about it. It's like second nature. You could be doing something else, and boom, there's a clown. Boom, there's a whale. She usually does this in meetings that I'm leading. I'm like, come on, Heidi. Please, get back to this. Anyway, it is Tuesday, the 24th day of November.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
Well, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Should she make up with him? A man almost dies because he kissed his wife.
Oh.
Yeah, giving his wife a kiss good morning almost proved fatal for this man. He fell ill on his way to work shortly after he gave his wife a little smooch on the cheek. According to reports, the man suffered breathing problems and had to be rushed to the hospital, where he was treated with cortisone injections. It was later released that the anaphylactic shock, did I say that even close to right?
Anaphylactic.
Anaphylactic shock. It was caused by his allergy to cereals, a basic ingredient in his wife's makeup. So there was something in her makeup that caused him to go into the
That is
shock.
crazy.
Anaphylactic? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
You said it. Say it again.
Anaphylactic.
How do you know that?
Because
Anaphylactic. It's like you know these things. Are you a doctor, Heidi?
I'm not.
Is that what you do when you're not
but
in
I
this
play
room?
one on the radio.
All right. Well, he went into this shock, this anaphylactic shock, because he's allergic to his wife's makeup. So he gave her a little kiss and almost died.
Yikes.
That is really weird. But, you know, it's true.
He hadn't kissed his wife prior to this day.
Well, I think most of the time when he gave her a smooch on the cheek, she wasn't wearing makeup. See, I think that's the difference.
Okay.
But this particular day, she got up and got ready first, and then all of a sudden, and then he almost croaked. So steer clear of that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's a weird story, but you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. A tip for would-be drug kingpins. If you want to consider maybe being this particular thing, a kingpin, you might want to make sure that your dad's not the sheriff. You know, Bobby Hooper, the sheriff in Fulton County, Kentucky, recently arrested Robert Hooper. So Bobby Hooper arrested Robert Hooper Jr. after he found him making methamphetamines. If the names sound familiar, it's because, they're dad and son.
For the dad, wouldn't that just be embarrassing for him?
Junior's second arrest on his dad is arrested him one other time, both on meth-related charges, twice in a month.
That's too bad.
So there you go. If you're thinking about, having that amazing, awesome career as a drug smuggler or whatever, not that any of that would be awesome. It's all dumb. But if you're going to do that, make sure you're not living in the same house with the sheriff. Probably not a good plan. All right. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Now your moment of duh. A text message ends up becoming a big moment of duh for a husband and wife. Anthony Mackney became enraged when he discovered a text on his wife's cell phone that said, "I love you." He was angry, so angry that he forgot that he was the one that sent her the message. A heated argument ensued and culminated with the wife conking him on the head with her cell phone. The cops had to be called to settle things down. It wasn't until later that he recognized that was his number. He's like, "Oh, wait a minute, so that was me?" "Yeah. You're the one that loves me, you idiot," or at least you did. Have you ever sent something through text message that later that you forgot that you even sent?
Not that
you delete all of your stuff. I keep all of mine. I'll scroll back and I'll start looking at messages and I'm like, I don't even remember having this conversation.
I just don't like clutter. So if my inbox on my messaging gets too much, I just delete them all.
I just don't mess with it. So as long as I've had this phone, I'm not a text guy anyway, but as far back as I've had it, they're all on there. So I got nothing to hide. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
And this is your Scoop of the Day. Kind of a fun story coming from Desert Hot Springs, California. This happened last week. I don't know if you saw this. It was all over the place on the internet, but last Tuesday, so a week ago, police spent 12 hours surrounding a house, shouting to come out.
And it was empty.
And they found out that it was empty.
Nice.
Yeah. But, what were they supposed to do? 12 hours is a long time to wait. You'd think that, you'd think within a couple hours you'd know. But,
with no response at all, you'd think somebody would have peeked in the window or something.
You'd think something. Anyway, 12 hours. So an intoxicated passenger had to be restrained from attempting to open an exit door on a flight from London to Boston. Is this the second one now?
Yeah, we've read about this.
We heard another person did that too.
Yeah.
No wonder we feel full after Thanksgiving dinner. A recent study estimates a typical Thanksgiving meal contains how many calories, Heidi? 7,100.
7,100?
Yeah, that's a whole lot of calories.
In one meal?
Yeah, it's in just your Thanksgiving meal. So
holy cow.
Maybe steer clear of the seconds on the old turkey or whatever. Chicago has been known as the Windy City, but it's not the windiest city. Among the 68 windiest cities in the United States, it's only number 21. Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Great Falls, Montana top the list. But you know why they call it the Windy City? It has nothing to do with the wind. They had a political debate, and a newspaper guy said it was really windy last night. He was talking about the hot air coming from the political candidates. So literally, look it up. That's what it's really from. A new study shows young people are becoming so reliant on electronic devices they can no longer remember everyday details like their own phone number. Didn't we just talk about a guy that got... there was a dude, the guy...
I don't think our kids know their phone numbers.
Do you know their phone numbers?
No. It's saved in my phone as Troy and Taylor.
But
that would be why you don't have to know them. Do you know their numbers?
I could figure it out. Give me enough time. A new study from the University of Buffalo in New York found that couples who smoke weed together have a significantly lower rate of fighting and domestic violence. Their main theory is that, drumroll please, marijuana mellows you, so you're happy. And they say that happy people don't fight. So that's their story. By the way, keep in
Until
mind.
they realize they've spent all of their household income
Yeah.
on weed and there's no money to pay the bills, then
in
you're
mind,
fighting
this
over
study was
something
done
completely different.
at a university in New York where they were probably smoking weed while they were doing the study. I'm just saying. So, I'm not saying that it's incorrect because it may be correct, but I am saying that keep in mind the source of the study. A police officer in Madison, Wisconsin has been officially reprimanded after he accidentally discharged a taser, which resulted in him tasing who?
The chief.
No, himself.
Oh.
Authorities wouldn't release the officer's name, but they said he is required now to take no air cartridges, make sure that none of the cartridges are loaded before testing the taser to start his shift. He probably didn't do that the first time. Anyway, that's why he got reprimanded. And he stung his own hand.
I would think he was already reprimanded enough by tasing himself.
He stung his own hand with the taser when he was testing the thing before or doing whatever it was that he was doing. All right, we got one more story here. November 16th in Ashland, Kentucky, 32-year-old Gerald Roche was arrested after he tried to rob an ice cream store wielding a stapler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he walked into a place called The Ice Cream Shop wearing a ski mask, and flashing a chrome-plated stapler. Employees handed over $175, but he was caught by the police and got first-degree robbery. Ashland Police Captain Don Petraeus says he didn't know if Gerald planned to use a stapler as a blunt instrument or if he was going to shoot people with staples, but he used it, and he actually got away for a little while using a stapler in an armed robbery. I've never heard of that before.
No.
So now you know it's possible. Our strange law from Myrtle Creek, Oregon. It is a law there that you cannot box with a kangaroo.
Oh.
So,
Are there a lot of kangaroos in Oregon?
I don't think so. But in case you're planning on it, you can't do it there. That's your strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Time now for one of the favorite things we do around here. We pick up the phone and call my father-in-law just because we can for a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
It's Tuesday. The old collect call came in.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I can't wait to talk to you about collect calls here in a little bit. We got something fun. You got big plans for Thanksgiving? You going to come see us or just Grandma coming to see us?
Just Grandma. I put up with you every Tuesday. That's enough. Can't handle it 2 times a week.
I understand completely. So what are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Let's see here. Traffic in central London moves at the same speed as horse-drawn carriages a century ago.
No kidding.
Really?
So it's not fast is what you're saying.
Yeah. But she was over there, weren't you, Fluff?
Yeah. Yeah.
In London?
Yeah, I don't think I would go back there again now. There's a lot of issues in London. I don't think I'd go back. It's a lot of crime right now.
Hey, did you know that ATM pins were originally intended to have 6 digits?
6 digits?
Yep, but only have 4 because the inventor's wife could not remember that many.
Oh.
I don't think I'd want to try to remember a 6-digit PIN either.
You'd be able to do it.
No, I don't think so. I know her.
You'd call me and say, what's my PIN again?
Hey, then, back in the day, medieval peasants got more vacation time than modern workers.
Peasants got more vacation time than we do now?
Yeah, should have been a peasant.
Sometimes I feel like I am.
I hear you there. Hey, mail-order marriages are less likely to end in divorce than marriages overall in the United States.
Really?
But I think that's because a lot of the places where they still do mail-order marriages, where that kind of stuff is where people do that, I think a lot of the time it's because those people don't really have a choice.
Well, that's true. A lot of it's arranged, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that might be a skewed number.
And it's just maybe taking a shot at the marriage.
Well, and they probably don't want to get sent back to wherever they were just sent in from. So
Return to sender.
they're like, yeah, he's a jerk and he won't pick up his underwear, but it's better than being in the desert where I was living before. So
At least I'm not a peasant. I'm not a peasant anymore.
Like, hey, do I have to sign for this?
Yeah.
Hey, then, did you know it's illegal in many countries to perform surgical procedures on an octopus without anesthesia due to their intelligence?
No kidding. I'll keep that in mind next time I operate on an octopus.
Well, you better, because I think you can get fined for it.
Well, I'll be really careful then.
And I got one last thing here for you.
All right, what's that?
Okay, a 14-year-old boy broke into Queen Victoria's Buckingham Palace while disguised as a chimney sweep and stole her underwear.
Oh my God! Why would you want?
I don't know why he would want
underwear?
that. You know what? I guess we're talking about the dude right now, so maybe that's all he wanted. Wanted to be talked about all around the world.
Can probably sell them
Made him
online, I
famous.
suppose.
What was that, Charlie?
It made him famous.
It did. It made him famous for sure. Well, I've got some questions for you, mister. You ready for this?
Okay, yes, I am.
Our first one is, you were talking about collect calls earlier. On which day of the year are the most collect calls made? It's never a Tuesday, I can tell you that.
I'm going to say Valentine's Day.
No, Father's Day.
Father's Day?
Crazy is that? Everybody calling their dad collect. Say, hey, Dad, happy Father's Day. By the way, is Mom there? Can I talk to her now?
That ain't right.
I know. It's crazy. That is true, though. The most collect calls made each year are on Father's Day. So there you go. Hey, I've got another thing for you. 60% of Americans admit they do this at work. What is it? I've done it at work before. 60% of Americans admit they do this at work. What is it?
Look at porn on the internet.
No, I don't.
That's what I do.
What do you think I do around here? No, take a nap. Charlie, take a nap. That's the answer.
I like mine better.
Yes. Okie dokie then. Well, Charlie, as usual, always an entertaining and informative call.
That's what we do here.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday, Charlie.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there, we call him every Tuesday. We don't really call him collect, but maybe we should start. That would be really funny. We call him every Tuesday just because we can with a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
This portion of the program is brought to you by CarsForSale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at CarsForSale.com.
Time now for some useless facts. Heidi, you ready for this?
Sure.
According to research at the Center for Health and Society in Copenhagen, Denmark, babies who weigh 6 pounds or less at birth or more than 9.5 pounds are far more likely to die earlier as adults than babies of the average weight. So they're saying if you're going to have a kid, you're supposed to aim for a child that weighs more than 6 pounds.
Well, of course. Everybody wants to aim for a child that weighs more than 6 pounds.
Or less than 9.4 pounds. Because anything outside of that is that's not good for you. So when you were a baby, how much did you weigh?
8 pounds, 5 ounces.
So guess how much I weighed?
How much?
15 pounds.
You did
I'm just kidding. I have no idea. How do you know how much you weighed? You remember that?
My mom told me, and I had a baby book.
I don't remember how much I weighed. I probably weighed a lot because I'm a big baby still. Coming up, we have your top office complaints. That is on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
We have the top office complaints. What would you say the biggest complaint is around here? Other than that you have to work with me. I saw the smirk. I knew what was coming. Well, this is from a company called International Facility Management Association. They have the top 10 office complaints. Number 10, it's too cold. Number 9, it's too hot. That's funny. Next on the list, poor janitorial service. We have awful. The garbage bin laying here.
It's awful.
What
you
is
just
the deal with
cannot
this?
find good help these days.
That's right. I have to take out the trash. I bagged it up. I got that much taken care of. Next complaint, not enough room for conferences. So not enough conference rooms. Not enough storage or filing space at my workstation. Poor indoor air quality. No privacy in my workstation. Inadequate parking. Too many computer problems. And the top on the list is, sure is noisy in here. I get that one a lot. All right, these are the top office complaints. Along with complaints about standard workplace issues, a humorous list of write-ins emerged as they were working on it. The green color of the carpet is making me sick. If you don't do something, I'm going to have to hire an exorcist to remove the evil spirits from the carpet. The smell from the potpourri at the receptionist desk is killing my tropical fish. The fish were one whole floor below. Please inform housekeeping that I am unable to and unwilling to move my Star Wars action figures for them to clean around them. They'll need to work around them. Next, the women's restroom floor has so much shine it reflects up the neighboring stall like a mirror. Janitors, can you dull it down? Next, too much natural light in our office.
Too much natural light?
What that means.
What a weird complaint.
I don't like the color of the extension cords we use. The bathrooms are boring here. The air in the building smells like bacon. I want to work there. Come get mushrooms out of my carpet. And the last one, my workstation isn't located in a place that's going to get me a promotion. So that's a true complaint. These were the top office complaints first, and then the others were some write-ins that were just too good not to share. That's going to do it. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Talk about the perfect wrong number. Take a listen to this. True story. A 92-year-old by the name of Luella Chester of East Tampa, Florida, owes her life to a wrong number. It all happened when Jill Kalish was trying to call her housekeeper Mary. Instead, she dialed the wrong number, and Luella answered. And when she answered, Luella picked up the phone and said, "Lord, have mercy. I'm so sick. I need help." And Jill knew that it wasn't her friend, so she hung up just because she didn't mean to, but she hung up and was like, wait a minute. That lady said she needed help. So she called her housekeeper, Mary, and told her what happened, and then frantically started dialing wrong numbers, trying to find it again. She finally did and asked Luella for her address, then called 911. The emergency room doctor said Luella suffered a heart attack and would not have survived if she hadn't gotten this wrong number.
Well, if Luella could reach the phone to answer the phone, why didn't she call 911?
She is expected to recover. I have no clue. I don't know if she wasn't able to think of the number. I have no idea. But she was able to answer the phone. But anyway, that's kind of crazy. Coming up, we've got an interesting story that if you love dogs, I don't know if you want to hear this. And if you love to eat dogs, well, that's what it's about. It's on the way.
Ew.
Yeah, I know.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
I have never in my life tried to eat a dog. At least if I've ever had dog, I didn't know that's what I was having. But Cambodia, the capital there, Phnom Penh, is overrun with stray dogs. So the governor of the city, yes, it says city governor. I thought that was like city mayor, but they have a city governor. Kep Chutek says, we're taking action. And he wants the people to start eating the stray dogs. Not even kidding. I love dogs, but I don't love them like that. He says our nation is founded on that. The people in that nation have eaten dogs for years, but when they moved into the city, they quit doing that. And they don't refer to it as dogs. On a menu, if you see one from Cambodia, if it says jogging cow, that's their keyword for dog. Jogging cow? He says the poor rural cousins eat dog to this day. And he says so do the Vietnamese rural people and the Korean rural people all eat dog. But when they move into the city, they quit. And he's telling the city folk, you want to get rid of the stray dogs? We got a solution. Eat them. Or adopt them. That's what we would do here. I'm just saying. And he says, come on, dog meat is delicious. That is a direct quote from this man. I don't want to know. I love my dog, but I love him as a cuddly, fuzzy little friend.
No thanks.
All right. Got some to-do lists for Thanksgiving on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Thanksgiving will be here before you know it. We got, 2 days? So it'll be here really before you know it. And I've got things to do at Thanksgiving, some things that are fun things to do. Now, I don't want you to take any of this stuff seriously. This is just something to make you laugh. Load your plate as high as you can, then take it to the kitchen, toss it in the blender, and take it back to the table after you've blended it up. Announce that it's the new Thanksgiving weight loss shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds gross. Not as gross as the last thing we talked about. Another thing to do for fun at Thanksgiving, when everyone goes around to say what they're thankful for, say, I'm thankful I didn't get caught. But don't tell them what you didn't get caught for. That is kind of funny. During mid-meal, turn to your mom and say, see, Mom, I told you they wouldn't notice the turkey was past the expiration date. You were worried for nothing. All right, another fun thing to do day after tomorrow for Thanksgiving, dress up like a turkey and go door to door asking for mashed potatoes and cranberries. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
No.
And then this one I think is my favorite on the list. And I'm gonna try this because we're not hosting Thanksgiving this year. Instead of having leftovers, when you get towards the end of the meal, shout, food fight, and just start chucking things at each other. That would actually be a lot of fun.
No.
I don't think my sister-in-law would feel that way.
No, absolutely. And if that happened at my house, there would be a lot of dead relatives.
Have you ever had a food
in the
fight?
Vicinity?
Have you ever thrown food around? Have you ever done that?
I threw some food in my bedroom one time, and we've still not heard the end of it. That's been, my gosh.
You stained the ceiling.
30
Your
some
mother
years
told me
ago.
about that.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the time we threw spaghetti at each other?
Yes, you
And
did.
we were, for whatever reason, eating spaghetti outside. And I remember there was spaghetti hanging from the power lines. I don't know. I was in kindergarten, so I was 5.
But
I
at
don't
least
know why I
that's
remember that.
outside. I
Yeah,
mean,
know.
that, you know.
I think that's why we did it, because we thought, it's not going to be hard to clean up. Anyway, there's some silly things to do at Thanksgiving. Coming up, we've got some good news that is on the way. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
We always try to end this program with some good news. You think I found anything good?
Probably.
I hope so. After a successful launch in 2014, the Salvation Army will continue to encourage Americans to share their reason for giving this holiday season with their hashtag #RedKettleReason. New this year, the Salvation Army will award one lucky winner of the Salvation Army Giving Spree contest with a paid trip to New York City to participate in a giving spree to buy toys and necessities to benefit a Salvation Army program in the community. To enter, you're supposed to load a video to Twitter. I'm already out. How do you do that? Upload a video to Twitter? Can you do that? Do you know how to do that?
I have no idea. I don't use Twitter.
I can tweet. I don't know how to load videos.
I wonder why they're utilizing Twitter
I don't
of
know.
all things.
Says, share your reason for supporting the Salvation Army using the hashtag #RedKettleReason and Giving Spree Sweeps on Giving Tuesday, which is December 1st. I didn't know that was Giving Tuesday. Well, that's December 1st. That's sneaking right up. 6 finalists will be announced, and the national voting period will begin at redkettlereason.org.
That is a trip I would really enjoy.
That would be really
love
cool.
to have like the funds and go out and buy a bunch of presents for people. That'd be
and
awesome.
it's a giving spree. So you're going to buy a bunch of stuff for
other
people who
people.
need it in your community, that is a cool thing. So I'm glad that was a good story, because you know what? Believe it or not, I didn't pre-read that. Me stuttering through that thing.
I did, yes.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
You did a good job covering it up. It sounded so professional.
Well, I thought it looked like good news, and I was kind of running out of time to find good news. I'm like, this will work. So I will put a link on our Facebook page if you'd like to know more. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the award-winning, okay, we didn't win any awards? No. To the, my mom likes it anyway, John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. You can learn more about those crazy cats, and you can buy razors there, too, if you go to the website, dollarshaveclub.com/radio. When you get there, you're going to see how affordable it is to shave like a rock star. For as little as $3 a month, they'll bring them right to your door. You don't have to mess around at the store anymore. Get your razors delivered to you every month at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, some subtle differences between you and your boss. You ready for this, Heidi?
Mm-hmm.
If you take a long time, you're slow. If your boss takes a long time, he's thorough. You ever notice that? If you don't do it, you're lazy. But if your boss doesn't do it, I'm just busy.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a mistake, you're a goober. If your boss makes a mistake, hey, I'm only human.
Uh-huh.
If you take a stand, you're being bullheaded. But if your boss takes a stand, hey, I'm just being firm. You didn't.
All of these sound just like you. Every one of them.
If you overlook a rule of etiquette, you're being rude. But if I do it, well, I'm just being original.
Uh-huh.
If you do something without being told, you're overstepping your authority. But if the boss does it, I'm just taking initiative.
How often do you use that word?
I took the initiative. And I ate all that pie that you had sitting there in the kitchen. If you're on a day off being sick, you're always sick. But if your boss has a day off being sick, oh, I must be really, really ill. I never take sick days. If you're out of the office, you're wandering around. But if your boss is out of the office, hey, I'm on business. Are you ever coming back here? I'm like, hey, I'm working here.
Yeah.
He
can't even look at me. He's reading this list. He can't even look at me.
If you apply for leave, you must be going for an interview. But if your boss applies for leave, it's because he's overworked. So there you go. Those are some fun little subtle differences between you and the boss. Okay, I got a question. When should we share this? I have some of the craziest questions from the Butterball talk line that have ever been asked. Should we share these today, or should we wait and share these on Thanksgiving Day? I think
we
too
should
late.
share them on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, we can do that.
We need to have a Thanksgiving-themed thing that day.
Then we will do that. I wanted to give you the chance. See, you always say I never let you contribute anything to this program.
Thank you for that.
Hey,